Tensions at the Russia-Ukraine border are showing no signs of diminishing, and the prolonged crisis has angered the West. In the latest, France has sent warnings to Russia. In case Ukraine is attacked, the Emmanuel Macron government has threatened strategic consequences. This comes after German Chancellor Olaf Scholz warned Russia in his first parliament speech as a chancellor. Scholz said that Russia will pay a high price if it actually invaded Ukraine. German government's statement came a day after Ukraine minister expressed hope that Berlin will be able to aid Kiev in defending itself against Moscow. Meanwhile, the G7 nations have stepped up their efforts to present a united front against so-called authoritarianism.
An Iranian state-affiliated newspaper, the Tehran Times, issued a very public threat to Israel on Wednesday morning. Let's take a look. The Tehran Times front page publishing a map of Israel with little red pins scattered throughout, indicating potential targets for an Iranian strike, with the headline reading, quote, "Just one wrong move," end quote. The article opens reading, "An intensification of the Israeli military threat against Iran seems to suggest that the Zionist regime has forgotten that Iran is more than capable of hitting them from anywhere." The article also addresses Israeli Defense Minister Benny Gantz's visit to Washington last week, along with the head of the Mossad, David Barnea, to discuss Iran's nuclear program with the Biden administration.
A Canadian and 11 other people held hostage in Haiti have now been released. They had been abducted 2 months ago near the capital, Port-au-Prince. A gang had been seeking millions for their release.
This kidnapping was quite a shock, although it came amid a wave of kidnappings of Haitians. This was the first large group of foreigners to be kidnapped. And one of the things that was so shocking about it were the ages of some of the victims involved. The youngest person kidnapped in this group of missionaries was only 8 months old, and there were a total of 5 of this group of 17 who were children. 5 of the 17 were released in 2 previous releases.
Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the terrible tragedy that took place last night, and our thoughts remain with the family, friends and the community of the sad loss of life of 4 young children yesterday evening. Shortly before 7 p.m, 5 crews attended the scene with 8 fire engines and 60 firefighters. We rapidly entered the building with breathing apparatus crews and rescued 4 children from the building. We immediately carried out CPR resuscitation at the scene until our LAS colleagues arrived on scene to assist. The children were taken to a local hospital, and sadly those 4 children died later that evening.
At least 27 people are feared dead after a fire broke out inside a psychiatric clinic in Japan's city of Osaka. The fire was located on the 4th floor of the multi-storey office building in the shopping and entertainment district, but was extinguished within about 30 minutes. Police are investigating the incident as suspected arson, as authorities reported 27 people were in cardiopulmonary arrest, the term used in Japan before a death is officially confirmed. 3 people have been confirmed dead in hospital, whilst 1 has sustained injuries. Police received reports that an elderly man brought a bag into the building that was leaking flammable liquid, and then he proceeded to allegedly ignite it.
Tonight, police in Germany arresting 5 anti-vaccine activists for plotting to assassinate a top politician over what they call restrictive COVID measures. Armed law enforcement raiding multiple homes in Saxony, removing boxes of evidence, finding several weapons, including a gun and crossbows. The primary target, that state's top elected official, Michael Kretschmer, who had been the subject of repeated death threats in an anti-vax group on the messenger app Telegram.
Congolese officials on Thursday announced an end to an Ebola outbreak that had killed at least 6 people since October in the latest health challenge confronting the country's restive east. The most recent outbreak erupted in North Kivu province, the same part of Congo where more than 2,200 people died during an earlier Ebola epidemic that began in 2018. Congolese health workers had been able to limit widespread infections and save lives, according to the World Health Organization's Regional Director for Africa.
In a bizarre move, North Korea has banned laughing, drinking and grocery shopping starting from Friday as the country is mourning the death of its former leader Kim Jong Il. According to the latest dictate by the North Korean administration, all leisure activities are banned in the country for 10 days as they mourn the death of their former leader Kim Jong Il, who ruled the country from 1994 to 2011. A report from Radio Free Asia quoted a resident of Shinju, a border city of the country, who confirmed the ban, adding that offenders will be arrested as it happens every year. According to the resident, during the mourning period, even if your family member dies, you are not allowed to cry loudly and are only allowed to take the body out for funeral after the mourning period is over. Residents are also not allowed to celebrate their own birthday during this period.